Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the It Doesn't Matter podcast. We have myself, Strapfacts, and we have...
The Dominican Dream, baby. This is the new daddy, Papi Platano.
There he is. And we also have...
I'm the Notorious one. I am Dom. Boom.
That's right, and we're here to discuss the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and it was still called pay-per-view from 2011. Quite a show, quite an epic show, and that's what we do around here. We talk about good epic shows, and even if they're bad shows, we talk about them too. But this happens to be a good one, so Dom, let's kick off Money in the Bank 2011.
All right, this is Papi Platano's choice. It was a good choice because I remember this show from the get-go. We kick off the show with a video package of CM Punk and his infamous pipe bomb, and everybody knows at the time, at midnight on July 17th, if the clock strikes midnight, he's going to be on his way out as WWE Champion. Maybe not. But if CM Punk loses, John Cena will retain, and Vince McMahon will still be happy, but it didn't happen that way. But it was a good-ass show, and we're going to get right into it. So we have Michael Cole, Booker T, and Jerry the King Lawler on your announce team live from Chicago. And we kick it off with a SmackDown Money in the Bank ladder match. And we have Sin Cara, John's boy. We got Wade Barrett. We have Justin Gabriel. We have Sheamus. We have Cody Rhodes. We have Heath Slater. We have Daniel Bryan. And we have Kane.
Come on, last year's winner, guys.
Hey!
I forgot how many jabronis were in this damn match. I was like, the guys coming out, I'm like, Justin Gabriel, okay, Thor, Nexus, okay, Heath Slater, I'm like, okay, Sin Cara, the original Sin Cara. It's just more jabronis, keep coming, but that's just who was on the roster at the time. So, there we go.
So it's just crazy seeing like where these guys are at now. This is 2011, so 13 years later, where's Sin Cara? I seen him at at the WrestleCon Super Show. Didn't know it was him, but he was there.
He was the original Sin Cara? Mystical?
Sure.
When you say it like that, all correctly and stuff.
Well, yeah, because there was two of them. The second one was actually done by the wrestler known, yes, Unico.
Yep. And how did Booker T call him?
Who?
Sin Cara Azul and Sin Cara Negro.
Oh, man.
And that feud wouldn't even happen yet. That feud was to come. This is how old this show was. 2011, man. Oh, it's crazy.
And we might not talk about Sin Cara again, so we might as well talk about him right now. And the crazy thing about that feud, it didn't even take place on pay-per-view. It happened like, on a SmackDown? He had to take his mask off?
They made a big hubbub that they were going to Mexico, for the first time in ever. They're going to do a Raw and a SmackDown taping to Mexico. And like, oh, we need a Mexican star. We need to push Sin Cara and have a big storyline. And this is what they came up with. Sin Cara 1 versus Sin Cara 2. And it just was not getting over. And even Alberto Del Rio, this was his year, And he was the champion. I think at that time they went to Mexico. I think he was not the champion. It was a booking nightmare back then. And you know what? Believe it or not, you guys talk about periods of time when you were not watching wrestling and you quit wrestling. Randy can attest to this. I quit wrestling too for maybe like a month, not too long, maybe like a month or two. And this was in 2011, around the time where the Awesome Truth just came together, the Miz and R-Truth, and Triple H was the COO with the long ponytail hair. He was doing a terrible job. That was true to life. He was doing a terrible job. The product sucked so bad. I stopped watching because I was like, this is bad. This is just awful stuff.
Even though he was a COO, he was still under the thumb of Vincent.
That's right.
Kennedy. If he didn't go with it, that's how it was. So unfortunately, it's like a head coach. You either give the guys the credit when everything's looking good, and then when everything goes to shit, you take the whole blame. So, I mean, yeah, it's like everyone says, if the old man doesn't want to go with that certain idea, it is what it is. It's a sinking ship. You're not going to be able to save it.
He was cuckoo.
a little too much.
Yes. So, all right. So we got Wade Barrett. We know he should have been the top guy. He should have been the champ, but it didn't happen. And he ended up in NWA as an announcer, as Stu Bennett, his real name, and came back as an announcer. Heath Slater, he got kids. And he got longevity. He's still around. He's still wrestling for TNA Wrestling right now.
Okay.
Kane, he's the mayor of Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yep.
Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson. Well, we know where he's at right now. You know, he's one of the top guys in AEW.
Yep.
Sheamus is still Sheamus. He actually looked like how he looks back then now. He got that little beer belly gone now, so he's straight. But John, what happened to Justin Gabriel, PJ Black? I know he was in New Japan or Ring of Honor at one point, and the next thing you know, he just disappeared.
Justin Gabriel was one of those top prospect guys that, you know, he was a top prospect, but he made his way around the block. You know, he was in all the companies. He was in Ring of Honor and Lucha Underground and everywhere, but he, you know what? He just wasn't that good. He did a few cool moves, but in the end, he just wasn't that good. And there he went. That's where Justin Gabriel is. And I mean, he had the story. He had one of those reels and shorts saying that he was having a match with Kane, and Kane did not want to catch him because Kane was a big guy, but Kane didn't want to catch. I'm like, Kane's caught everybody. He caught the Undertaker. He caught Shawn Michaels. He caught, anyone. He didn't want to catch you. Maybe he just didn't like you. So maybe that was just Justin Gabriel, those punks, those Nexus punks with their big attitude and low ability. Wade Barrett, Daniel Bryan, Ryback, Heath Slater.
Michael Tarver.
Who?
Exactly.
Mason Ryan.
Yeah, this was a ladder match. And, I watched, I thought I watched this match so many times. But the truth of the matter is, I only watched the end. I only watched the end because Daniel Bryan, one of my favorites forever now, he won the SmackDown Money in the Bank, and it was just a great moment, of course, in front of the Chicago crowd. You didn't know what his career would turn out to be in pro wrestling, in WWE, and he was still an underdog from the underground at the time, and him getting this big moment, getting a huge pop for actually getting the briefcase. It was such a great moment, and like I said, I replayed it so many times, and I was just very happy that he won it, and I think so was everyone else in Chicago that night.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that choke slam Sheamus got off the ladder by Kane? Onto the ladder. That was brutal.
That shit hurt my back. Oof. Oh, I don't even want to think about it.
Then Justin Gabriel with the 450 splash off the ladder onto Kane.
It was very impressive. It's especially when you mess around with a ladder. If you go one step wrong, that ladder can kick out, and then you have no ability to do that. 450, you might just be going straight down. So, I mean, for that, very impressive. A lot of people just don't realize the athleticism that it takes to do stuff like that. They think, I could just jump off a ladder and do that. Some of us can barely even climb up a ladder itself to change a light bulb. So, so what they're doing is just incredible. Incredible.
So I have a question for y'all. Do you guys like Money in the Bank as a pay-per-view itself, or do you like it when they had it back in the day as, like a special attraction for WrestleMania?
I mean, when it first started off, it was something new and something that just caught you off guard, especially the first cash-in. You completely forgot that Edge even had that briefcase, so you're like, what's he coming out for with Vince McMahon? And then he gives the briefcase, and then you find out how it works. I mean, yeah, you only had one guy at the time, so it was very special. So it's that one person, didn't matter what show it was, or they didn't have brand split just yet when they first came out with that, right? It was just a World Heavyweight Champion, or
what, the Money in the Bank?
Yeah,
original concept. I believe there was a brand split. I want to say.
Okay, so there wasn't like a specific brand he can cash in.
No, I believe it was just a. Actually, in the first one, it was at the WrestleMania 21 in Los Angeles. Chris Jericho's idea, allegedly, and I think that was Raw only. So Edge did win that first one, so he was a Raw guy, and he cashed in on John Cena as a Raw wrestler. So I think it was just whatever brand it was on, but there was definitely Raw, and SmackDown at the time that it came out. But it's one of those gimmicks. It's kind of like the King of the Ring, maybe just run its course. It was a concept, a main event level concept to put at WrestleMania. It kind of grew beyond that, graduated to its own pay-per-view, and now it's just a common thing. But I think it's past its prime. Like, maybe just get rid of it and do something else. Will they? I doubt that. It's a very catchy thing, and it always pops the fans. Even though one of the worst pay-per-views, live events I've ever been to was the Money in the Bank. The one when it was in Las Vegas that Austin Theory won the Money in the Bank. Not a fan of that guy. Wouldn't give $2, even though I did pay for those seats to see that guy wrestle. But that was a terrible, terrible pay-per-view as a whole. Roman Reigns wasn't even there.
You just forcing a theme match. Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, that was terrible. Like, come on now. Every match shouldn't be Hell in a Cell worthy.
No.
But I just feel that Money in the Bank is a good spectacle. It should consider it a big five.
I'm glad you brought up bragging rights, because that is one of the worst concepts I have ever heard of. It's so bad that on either Jammin' 107 or Q105, they actually use that term out loud. I don't know if they read a guidebook on what phrases to use in entertainment that year, but the radio stations used it. WWE used it. The hell cares about bragging rights within some kind of stupid Rihanna song? You tell me that. Someone, bragging rights. Where the hell? Who came up with that? Bullshit.
just like capital punishment.
Yes, and what grounds?
Stomping grounds. They lucky Lug wasn't around. Still, they could have patented that right there, and then boom, Lugs presents Stomping Grounds.
I love Lugs. I just bought one of their shoes not like 2 years ago.
They're still around.
Yeah, Lugs. Boots with attitude. But you know what did not make it throughout time? The JVC Kaboom Box.
One of those back.
I did. Me too.
Still want one. It plays all your cassettes. Ugh.
What's that?
You need 8 fucking D batteries just to even get that thing going portable.
Michael Cole, tell me what the Kaboom Box does.
All right, so back to Money in the Bank. Daniel Bryan is your winner for the SmackDown side.
All right. I got one question, though, Dom. Since you do like this concept, what is it that you like the most? The fact that anybody can cash in at any time, or just the fact that whoever has that Money in the Bank can literally just say, you know what, I'm chasing after you, or I'm chasing after you, without any knowing, or just you completely think like, oh, he's going to cash in on this guy, and he doesn't. He's going to cash in this night, and he doesn't. You like the element of just being able to just take over and be the champion on someone who's already been beaten up and like just went through war, or you just rather have somebody just come in and like, yep, I'm going to challenge you. And that's it. Kind of like how they do on Monday Night Raw back in the day.
I like the surprise element. I like that whoever wins on the male or female side has the opportunity to be that next person up to become champion. And everybody's tactics might not, work, or sometimes they might be screwy. I do recall we were at Providence when John Cena said, I'm going to cash in right here. He lost. Who was that, to Jinder Mahal?
No.
Ashanti, yes.
Yeah.
We was in the building for that. We're like, what?
Sure were.
Shoot, who wasn't
No.
Wasn't Corbin another one too?
No, it was Corbin. I think that's who it was, and then Cena was the one that messed up that cash in on Jinder, I believe, because I guess he wasn't getting along with the backstage. But it was around
Corbin had like that leather brown briefcase, right?
Yes, it kind of looked like Halliburton, basically.
Yeah.
But, hi, I'm Halliburton.
But yeah, I just like the surprise element. Like, we didn't know that Seth Rollins was going to cash in at WrestleMania.
No,
we didn't know that.
That was probably one of the most surprising and probably one of the greatest cash-ins of all time.
We didn't know Dolph Ziggler was going to cash in the next night after WrestleMania 29.
If I was a GM, I'd turn that feature off.
I just like the surprise factor. I like, oh my God, tonight might be the night. Tonight might be the night. And next thing you know, damn it.
I don't like these surprises, man. I don't like them. Going back to that Austin Theory winning the Money in the Bank, he was the United States champion. He lost it to Bobby Lashley.
Yep.
So Bobby Lashley was the United States champion. What the hell are you doing coming out in the Money in the Bank? You weren't even advertised, man. You weren't even on the book. If they printed a T-shirt, the event T-shirt with the lineup on the back, you're not on it, my friend. Not in the Money in the Bank match.
Didn't he he had a fail cash in, right? And then he won the title the next week.
Didn't he cash it in on the U.S. champion? Yeah, he cashed it on live.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Cashed in on the mid card, lost, and then got the title the next week or two. I'm like, why would you do that?
And then he went to Vince McMahon's office. They locked the door, and he came out, and he was getting pushed at WrestleMania in Dallas.
Yes.
Talk about a chaos theory.
So, I enjoy it. That's why I enjoy it.
All right. Just figured I'd ask.
Who wants the same old boring, same old song and dance from pro wrestling? I see. I understand, you guys.
Yes. Well, our next match I didn't enjoy. We have Brie Bella with Nikki Bella, her twin, taking on Kelly Kelly with Eve Torres for the Divas Championship. And this match was nothing special. It doesn't matter.
No. I mean, I did watch just because I wanted to see the difference between the women's wrestling compared to now. It wasn't bad compared to what we were so used to at that time, but it wasn't great compared to what we're watching now. So I agree. It's not one of those matches you can sit there and watch, but you can skip it. But it was decent enough.
I had the same morbid curiosity that Papi Platano had. I was not in the, they was just playing on TV. I left the room, because I still have the cheap Peacock where there's commercials. So I'm out, and the whole match takes place, and by the time I come back in, I'm like, it's over? It's like, shit. So I actually did rewind it, and I watched it because I do like Kelly at the time, and she certainly has sticking out from, being 20 years old or whatever at the time. But yeah, it wasn't absolutely terrible, and it wasn't great. It was just a spot on the show, and that's what they strive to fight against. Let's do more, let's do better, and they certainly have. But Kelly walking out there with Eve, who was the champion. I guess they had some shenanigans with the Bella twins there earlier. Yep. And I was trying, I was pretty positive I could identify which one was Brie and which one was Nikki before she got clotheslined from hell in the chest and things swollen up. But I couldn't. They were still quite the twins back then, in my opinion. I
could tell at the time because maybe I was watching too much Total Divas, and
maybe
I realized, all right, you could just tell, Nikki's face is a little more fuller than Brie. Cheese.
You just call her fat. We're gonna get canceled.
Yes.
Well, you know what? I did the best part. That whole little 3-minute match they had. Nikki Bella said to Brie, "How do you lose to her? She doesn't even eat."
Yeah, I caught that too.
I was cracking up. I was really cracking up. We're seeing the start of the Hall of Pain right here.
Yeah.
And I just wish that the Hall of Pain character lasted a little bit longer. But Mark was getting busy in this match right here. Yeah. He dominated the whole match. He was impressive when they was outside in the ring and Big Show was leaned up against the stairs. Mark Henry with a drop kick. I've never seen Mark Henry do a drop kick before. Maybe he just fell, but it looked good though.
It just shows another side of Mark that we don't see, his athleticism that a lot of guys don't appreciate. I think there was videotapes of him back in the day when he was in the Olympics where he was dunking a basketball, and he was 300 plus at that time too. Man, I'm 6'1", 2 some change. I can't dunk a basketball. That's very impressive.
Donuts.
I'm right.
Tomorrow.
Never miss.
No, I mean, talking about replaying Daniel Bryan's moment earlier, I always skip this thing, but I did want to watch it because, we were talking about Mark Henry recently, and you know what? Not much has changed. Big Show and Mark Henry, what you think it's going to be. That's what it was. Except for this time, what was different was the elongated injury angle that took place after the match. Oh boy, killing time. But it was just a little too long for me in the injury angle for me.
Ow! Get off my leg. So basically, like I said, Mark dominated the whole match. Hit him with the world's strongest slam. Then hit him with a splash. Boom. Mark Henry is your winner. But after the match, Mark basically Pillmanized the Big Show, put the chair on his ankle, one of the top rope, and splashed it. And yeah, then they brought out the gurney. Like, what the hell? You put his big ass on the gurney. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so they brought out the cart and then put like the big ass cast on him, and that was it. Big Show crying like always. And, yeah, that's what I do, Mark Henry. That was dope.
Yeah,
it was dope.
Another reason why they just did not know what to do with Big Show, man. I mean, granted, there were two big behemoths, fucking like you said, two big meaty men slapping meat, but yeah, the Hall of Pain, that's where I was going with. I love that part of Mark Henry at that time, but with Big Show, it just never seemed like he ever got that start that he should have, and then catapulted to where he should have been. It just always seemed like it was start, stop, start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. Eventually, those breaks are going to wear out, man, and there you go. The leg just gave out. So, I don't know. I hated the way they treated Big Show all these years. I never felt that he ever got his just due where he should have been. But at the same time, as a Giant, you're only going to be there so many times, and you don't need to be shown every single week. You're an attraction, unfortunately. You're not really like a everyday guy that we want to see, because it just makes you not feel as special.
This match stinks. Wow.
You didn't really enjoy Mark Henry getting busy?
Let me watch Kelly and Brie Bella one more time. 3 more times.
She doesn't even eat. But our next match is for the Raw's Money in the Bank. And we have Alberto Del Rio, Kofi Kingston, Jack Swagger, Evan Bourne, R-Truth, Alex Riley, with a huge pop, by the way. Yeah. The Miz, and Rey Mysterio. All right, John, we might not mention him again. Where in the world is Alex Riley?
Alex Riley, we should start a list. Someone keep track of how many guys is John Cena responsible for not pushing. I mean, hey.
Say it to my face.
All right, Kennedy. Alex Riley, a guy with endless potential, but a guy who, another one of Miz's teammates. Never team with the Miz, because your career will never be bigger than the Miz, who 2-time WWE champion.
Grand Slam.
Alex Riley would stick around WWE for a very long time. He became a commentator at NXT, and he was doing a decent job at that, and he decided to get back into the ring. Silent Rage Alex Riley, and they got rid of him. And it's a sad thing, and he was just one of those guys that did not love professional wrestling. He's just like, you know what? This was my shot. This was a big time. I'm not going indie. I don't care. I'm done. And it's honestly good for those guys. They'll probably come back in the industry, kind of like Maven, Tough Enough Season 1 winner has, where he's doing stuff nowadays, and he goes through a period of depression and this and that. And hopefully Alex Riley is not like that. But that's where Alex Riley went. He went to NXT. He was ready to come back into in-ring competition, and then they just let him go. And one of those backstage rumors is that he did not become best friends with John Cena, and kind of like Kenny Dykstra as well from the Spirit Squad. And you heard him the wrong way, then he don't like you, and you're done. You're donezo.
Yeah, that's another guy that has so much potential, and then you never saw him reach it. Kenny Dykstra. I'm actually glad you mentioned that, because I was going that way too, because I was like, what happened? I figured McMahon loved the guys like that, but yeah, he said, you don't know what's going on backstage, and one wrong word or one wrong move, that's it. All right, he don't got it.
If you can find it, I mean, they had a lot of skits back around, it was honestly around WrestleMania 30 in New Orleans. So 2014, 2015, 2016, around that time. And, they did a lot of videos for YouTube and WWE.com. And one of them was a competition between the NXT announcers at the time, Byron Saxton, Alex Riley, and Booker T in a bodybuilding competition. And it was the most homosexual thing I've ever seen on YouTube, at least. But yeah, they were doing some weird pose downs, and Booker T, how Booker T's got great facial reactions, and but if you can find it, the bodybuilding competition between Booker T, Alex Riley, and Byron Saxton. So Dom read off the names of who was in this Raw Money in the Bank, and I didn't like the talent list of this one either. I mean, Alex Riley got a good pop, good Miz, Mysterio, cool, just wasn't really hitting it for me. There's no cool underdogs for me to cheer for in this matchup.
Yeah.
So I thought it was an entertaining match. SmackDown was way better, but Miz got hurt early. His knee buckled from hanging from the briefcase. And, it's expected that Mysterio, Kofi, they were going to do some top rope stuff. And Evan Bourne hit the airborne off the top of the ladder. That was pretty dope. Alex Riley launched himself over. Too bad his career couldn't get launched. But the finish of the match, we see Del Rio and Rey Mysterio on top of the ladder. Del Rio pulls the mask off Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio hides, trying to cover his face. And Del Rio is your winner.
Well, that was a botch at the end, though, for real, though. You notice that?
Yeah.
Well, he took the mask off Mysterio. Mysterio's ladder falls into Del Rio's, but it wasn't supposed to. And Del Rio is trying to, so he has to fall and get back up and do the whole thing. But otherwise, it was a nice finish. And it was good action in it. But, considering who the winner was and where he is now, no.
So down, knowing what we know now in the future, do you think they could have went somewhere else and gave somebody that push like Alex Riley, like you said? Because Del Rio was already a top guy. He didn't really need this. He still would have been champion regardless, I felt like. But if you're going to say make stars, make somebody new. Like, make somebody you hear the crowd. It tells you a lot. They always talk about, we listen to the crowd, we give them what they want. The hell you did. Just like that.
Not at that time in 2011, but Del Rio, they was pushing to the moon because earlier, like 2 months ago, he fought Edge at WrestleMania for the title.
Yep.
Won the Royal Rumble in Boston, which we was at. WrestleMania, we was at as well. And later on that year, I think he won the title from a cash in, right?
I think so. I think he cashed in on CM Punk. Yeah,
because they was trying to push another Hispanic male besides Rey Mysterio, so they trying to make him another top guy. When he came out in 2011, I was a fan of him. I had his shirt. I was doing the wink and everything like that.
I got my pose with the poster there.
Yeah, exactly. It's on the Nikon camera. But Alex. Alex Riley, he had the look. I don't know why they didn't give him the opportunity to see what could happen. He could have been, maybe
he was still a rookie,
maybe whatever.
He was a true rookie. He was still very, very green. But
so was Brock Lesnar, but he's no Brock Lesnar.
A-Rye versus Brock Rye. Brock Lee.
No chance in hell.
I mean, we all know why they pushed Del Rio, and there are good reasons to do it, and there are bad reasons to also not do it. And, but hey, it was what it was. They tried really hard for the next couple of years, but it would never really catch on. So there's the legacy of Dark Side of the Ring, Alberto El Patron.
It's crazy. They've always tried to hit that Hispanic market and can never find that guy to stay on. I mean, someone who they should really push for right now, if they're really trying to hit that market, is Andrade. That's the perfect guy. He's good looking. He's got the body. He can wrestle. He can wrestle luchador. He can wrestle main event style. He is that dude, and he's got somebody else behind his back that's gonna help push him to that moon. But it's the guys up top that need to see it. I don't want to hear this bullshit that he doesn't speak good enough English. You're a global fucking company. Learn how to translate this motherfucker.
F-bombs from Papi Platano.
Damn right. Para mi gente Latino.
If you want to see the best of Andrade, tune in each and every Wednesday on X, on Speed. He give you the best 3 minutes of his life. If not, ask Charlotte Flair.
As long as it's not on Blue Chew.
He's getting ready to defend the title against Xavier Woods. Andrade is the Speed champion.
What a demotion. Hey, speak your mind, buddy. Say whatever you want. All right, you're going to be a Speed champion. Wow, great.
Hey, sir, it's time for you to get up, sir. Padre, wake up, sir. Wake up.
Ay, caray.
Here's the knuckles. Here you go.
Oh, man.
Ric Flair's last match.
Fuck.
All right, but this next match, it does matter. John's boy, Christian, no cage, going against the Viper, Randy Orton. If Randy Orton gets disqualified, he loses the title. What a bitch move by Christian.
The skinny snake, Randy Orton. Yes, I was looking forward to this match very much to see Randy Orton at that time. And I just said it, skinny Randy Orton. And yeah, that rotten monster Christian hit the switch. That shirt was so damn ugly. Only Randy Osgood would buy it, and he has it somewhere in his closet next to the Skulls and Demons. But no, I thought this was a good match, and I forgot the ending. I remember the disqualification, but I had it mixed up with the other disqualification world title match with John Cena and Randy Orton.
Which one are you talking about?
That's right. I was waiting for the slap.
Yep.
It didn't happen. And I was like, he pissed him off so bad, he kicked him in the nut. Oh, okay.
You know what? Speaking of that match before, though, the one where he slaps the ref, I remember watching that, I think, at Dom's house, and we're just watching, and we're just like, yeah. All of a sudden, I see the... And Dom's like, that's how it ends? I said, yes. And he looked at me like, what do you mean, yes? Intelligence. Use your brain.
Yes.
And he was like, he was not going to let John win that title away from him. So he said, you know what? I'm a dirty snake. Any way to keep that title. You learn from the best.
And you know what? This was a good Christian match. I enjoyed this match because he brought everything to the table for Randy Orton. And sidetrack, I like this look by Randy Orton. The lean, grizzled beard, Randy Orton. I like that. But anyways.
I'm working on it right now.
You can do it. Cut your hair a little bit. You be all right. But I don't know if you noticed, but when Christian was heating up a little bit, the fans were into him. Like they were standing on, like, they got up. They was feeling him. So I don't know why they didn't, seize the opportunity at the time with Christian after Edge retiring.
It's because when Vince McMahon doesn't like you, that's it. There's no way of getting out of that comfort zone with him. I hate that beak. I hate him because he looks ugly.
I'd argue that Christian had a better creative run leading to him leaving WWE back in 2005 than this run. I mean, this run was given to him because Edge retired, and they had that same sympathetic Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero storyline from before that. It was just a give me, and it's a gold watch for Christian, and he never really got that big push, but this is the best we can get out of the WWE at the time. I'll take it, and I'm glad he got it, and it was the highlight of his WWE run for the next couple of years. 2011 was really a wild year because in 2012 they flipped everything around, and, like pretending like it didn't happen. Yeah, let's play a fun game. Actually, that's not. Let's not have time for that. But yeah, no, this was a fun match.
Time?
No, we don't.
We
This
got
was a
plenty of
fun
time.
match.
Oh.
So yeah, it was also worthwhile checking out. Still more fun for me than Mark Henry. Big Show.
All right, so the finish of the match is, like I said before, Christian is doing everything in his nature to try and get this win, but Randy is Randy Orton, and he, Did you all see that damn gut buster or whatever he did? The inverted, like he flipped him up overhead and then
he had like a gut wrench power bomb going into a neck breaker.
That was dope, and he held him with one hand too.
That was a video game move.
Ooh, okay, Randy, you need to bring that back.
Yeah, the way he's looking right now, it looks more impressive with that size. Instead of that lean look, he looked more like it could do more damage with him right now. But
I'll tell you what, I'm glad he don't do that loose Theds press anymore because that shit was ugly as hell. That was terrible.
That's one. Afuera.
No. I like that. I like that actually because it wasn't Stone Cold's Theds press.
Okay.
That was like a lazy man's Luthez press. Like, don't touch me.
No, it's funny. It's funny because it's like we're talking about two distinct Randy Orton moves because we know Randy Orton's moveset so well. It's impressive and always fun. You know, this is one of those things that's fun to look back on in wrestling matches. Like, hey, where's that move? We missed that one. And it's 2-1 voting against the Randy Orton Thez press, but that's okay.
Braun Breaker should pick up that move.
He's gonna do something else with that.
That would be fire.
He's gonna light someone up soon tonight. The time of this recording.
Yes. All right. So back to the match. So all right. So Orton heats up, goes for the punt, the DDT, get ready for the RKO. Then Christian,
spit on that thing.
Spin on. He hit him with the Hawk 2 in Randy's face. Yo, that was so much loogie just on his chin, on his lips. That was terrible. And then Randy basically blacked out and started beating the shit out of him. But it didn't, the referee pulled him off. And then he laces out, Dan. Boop. Low blow. Bad. And then that's how Christian won the title back. And then the funny thing about it is Randy is pissed off. He snapped and he RKOs him on top of the table. The table doesn't break. Then he does it again. And, yeah, table breaks this time, and Randy's hot. Because I know what the next match is, one of them BS pay-per-view shows I probably mentioned, Bragging Rights or Capital Punishment or whatever the pay-per-view was. But
yeah.
Or maybe it was Extreme Rules. Who knows? It doesn't matter. But I just know, I think it was like a no disqualification match. And then I know that's when Christian goes for like a spear off the top rope or something like that, and Orton hit him with the RKO on top of the stairs. That's what I kept thinking this match was going to be, but I enjoyed that shit.
No, I think that was one of the greatest RKOs I've ever seen.
Damn, so that rivalry went. This was July, so yeah, all right. So next month was SummerSlam. All right.
I'm actually looking up Capital Punishment right now.
I think Capital Punishment was the month before. Yeah, they were showing highlights of that match.
It was also Randy Orton versus Christian in a singles match. That's all I can say about that.
So that's what I'm talking about. Them dudes fought for 4 months?
Yeah.
From April to August. So.
Yeah, 4 or 5 months.
What a romance.
It's just like the CM Punk and Drew McIntyre I'll be about to get eventually. All right, main event time. Since I said his name, he will appear on Peacock. But in Chicago, Illinois, we have the hometown boy. We have CM Punk taking on the Derek Jeter of New York Yankees, John Cena. He's a dynasty. He didn't like that. That's why he punched Punk. But anyways, like I said earlier, if Punk wins, his contract expires, or if he loses, contract expires, he's out of there. If Cena loses, he's fired. So, Punk comes out. Chicago is nuts. They're live for him. Colt Cabana, Ace Steel, his sister, everybody out there. Cena Riot guys out there. Everybody's hyped for CM Punk. When Cena comes out, this is a different John Cena. He is focused. Usually he runs to the ring. Not this time. He walked to the ring, basically embraced everything. And, yeah, they weren't feeling Cena whatsoever. As soon as you heard that first note of his entrance theme song, like the boos, it was like the Hammerstein Ballroom. It was just like that. But, yeah, it was a good-ass match. It's went like over 40 minutes, I want to say. Yeah. This match right here. It started off slow. Then it picked up, and every little thing they were doing, every counter, the fans are all into it.
Yeah.
Very into it. And then I enjoyed that the running knee that he did. That hit Cena flush.
Yeah.
Damn near knocked him out. I did enjoy that. But I did like the little teasers of the the attitude adjustment and Punk countering and the STF and getting out of that too like that. But the finish of the match, we see John Laurinaitis and Vince McMahon, that tag team right there, that duo. They come out and Cena has CM Punk and the STF. Cena sees Laurinaitis running down to the ring. He slides out and he clocks him. No, we ain't doing this. We're going to do it my way. And then Vince just looking stupid, as always. Next you know, he gets back in the ring. GTS, 1, 2, 3. CM Punk is your winner. And he's about to leave the company. Vince runs down to the ring and calling Alberto.
Yep.
Alberto looking stupid as hell. Running down to the ring. Punk clocks him on the side of the head.
Yeah.
Gets out of the ring, blow Vince a kiss. Goodbye. And that's your show. We see CM Punk in the crowd. Hell of a match. Hell of a story with these guys. And what only lasted, a week after this?
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Strap, give us your thoughts.
My goodness. Oh, what else needs to be said? Lots of things, I guess. But, you're talking about the ending of the match. I mean, well, first of all, let's go back to the beginning. CM Punk coming out there, and, this is, of course, a very legendary pay-per-view, a very important pay-per-view in the annals of WWE history. And CM Punk coming out there, not to the cult of personality, you longtime WWE fans. You want to hear that song, but you get the old one. You get the Straight Edge Society original CM Punk tune. So you get that. That's kind of a stark contrast to everything. But I guess you could also say it's the last time you'll ever hear it, so that's also special. And he comes out with that new T-shirt, a T-shirt that I have, not the exact one, but the replica that they sold that summer. That was probably the hottest T-shirt since the NWO and Smoking Skull Steve Austin shirt, probably the hottest shirt in history. And I still have it. It fits kind of funny. But we're talking about the ending of the match, and, as Dom was going through it, man, you have to pay attention to all the little things. Like, Vince McMahon sends out Johnny Ace to go do something. John Cena stops him, knocks him out. And John Cena just jaw-jacking. No! If he's gonna win, he's gonna win on his own! Shut up! God damn it. And Vince's facial expressions the entire time. That's Vince. That's what Vince is best at. Those facial expressions where he's just like not sure, and the long takes, because it's like Vince probably doesn't know how long the cameraman is. Kevin Dunn. Maybe he's hoping Kevin Dunn is doing what he wants, but he's staying on Vince, and Vince has to hold that the whole freaking time. And he's watching Punk, and like they're having that nonverbal communications. Like, am I gonna do this spot now? And then he gets on the fucking mic. Give me the winner. Give me the bank. Alberto, get him out of here. Oh, it's like, is this real, fake? Real, fake? Who knows? But it's exciting. And then he comes out and gets mollywop. Punk, and then Punk perfectly. He's in that ring. He's like, he realized, I got to get out of here.
Yeah. Because
he's going to do something. And then Vince is like, he's going to chase him. He's going to chase him. No. And he does the kiss, runs through the crowd. End of the pay-per-view. Holy smokes. I mean, if you ended the show, the show did end. You ended it right there. My God, it was just an incredible moment. Please don't look up the aftermath, but just live in the moment as it was. And it was such an incredible moment and important thing, and just a marvelous ending to that pay-per-view. It's all about CM Punk, and you can see why they keep going back to Chicago, and he keeps getting the reaction he does.
Yes. Platano, what are your thoughts on this match?
I gotta agree with Strap on all that, because that match, I was already a CM Punk fan, but the ending was such a surprise to me because of all the shit that was going on, that they were saying that he's not signed, and if he leaves with the title, they can't let that happen. They were basically doing like a Brett Screwjob, and I was not for it. I've already seen it once. I'm not going to see it again, even though we saw it with Natty. Stupid. But again, that crowd was going nuts. And then the way they ended it with him winning the title, and then not even letting Alberto cash in on him, that was even better. It just made the crowd love him even more. So CM Punk will always have Chicago in his heart, and Chicago will have him in his heart too. So one of the greatest pay-per-views of all time, one of the greatest endings to a pay-per-view of all time, and probably one of the greatest rivalries of that time. I guarantee you, Cena will definitely say that CM Punk helped him make Cena even more. So, or Punk otherwise. Those two, Cena's had so many guys that he's had rivalries with, but it seemed like CM Punk brought him up to a different level that no one can ever compare to. It's when you hear Cena, you think CM Punk. When you hear CM Punk, you think Cena, especially Money in the Bank 2011.
So I have a question for y'all, but before we close the show, I'm going to tell you what the show is for next week. We're going to talk about Bash at the Beach 1994. That is my choice. This should have been the main event at WrestleMania 8, but it's taking place at Bash at the Beach 1994. We have Hulk Hogan with Shaquille O'Neal and Mr. T in this corner taking on the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, and Sensational Sherry. We also got Stone Cold. Oh, I take that back. We have Stunning Steve Austin taking on Ricky Steamboat for the WCW United States Championship. And we also have Pretty Wonderful of Paul Roma and Paul Orndorff taking on Cactus Jack and Kevin Sullivan. Next week, taking it back to 1994. It's going to be a good show. But all right. So my final question for you guys for this show for Money in the Bank 2011. This show does matter. I seen this on the internet the other day. Erase one from history. The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, or John Cena. Erase everything that they did in history. Who would it be? It's a tough one, and I was telling Rose this. I said, for me, it would have to be Triple H.
The problem I have with that is that, okay, so how I'm thinking is like this. Instantly, I would choose The Undertaker because a lot of, I mean, he's had a long career, but he's also fought everyone. He's like this, you can almost use the same answer for Triple H. He's fought everybody, but the majority of Undertaker's work, I don't want to watch again. It's him being the dead man. It's like, that's not entertaining, to watch for me, in my opinion. That character, that gimmick, he played the gimmick well, but athletically, I don't want to watch those matches. Shawn Michaels, highly athletic. John Cena, highly athletic. John Cena, I not a big fan of his work that much either, but he was also the same thing. He was in a lot of great feuds. And Triple H, also like The Undertaker, runs the gamut. He wrestled everybody, so you can't erase Triple H because then you'd erase those matches as well.
And
wasn't there a fourth one? Also
erase DX. Shawn Michaels, Triple H.
Shawn Michaels, okay.
Undertaker, and John Cena.
So Shawn Michaels, yeah. I mean, Shawn Michaels, great wrestler, of course, but he had his career cut short those couple of years. So those moments, those matches, and those moments, Triple H has had a lot of those matches and moments. Shawn Michaels would have a lot of more of those good matches. So I could not erase Triple H. But playing the game, as it were, if you had to pick one, no, I'd because Undertaker's later part of his career was different. He wasn't purely the dead man, the gloves, and the urn and pallbearer. Because his later career was so great, I'd have to ixnay John Cena.
Wow.
Wow, I heard that.
Was that the cat? If you get rid of John Cena, you get rid of
a lot.
CM Punk, you getting rid of Edge cashing in.
You get rid of a lot of the
aggression.
Yep.
Yeah. It's tough.
If you want to expand this question, you say you'd almost have to write out, these are the 5 matches that you regret losing because you picked this guy. If you pick The Undertaker, write 5 matches that you regret that, or to make it easier, because you think people remember positive things. Is that if I pick The Undertaker as a guy to erase from history, write 5 matches that you would save. Right, that'd be easier to do than to say than whatever else I said.
I can name that.
Like John Cena. If I erase John Cena, what 5 matches moments would I save from being erased?
Oof.
You know.
Oof.
All right. So, what 5 moments or matches would you save for Triple H?
Say if I eliminate Triple H from history,
Yes.
and I would save 5 of his matches. Well, I already had this one answered in my head. Is that the first match I would show a person who doesn't like wrestling is one of my favorite matches. Him and Stephanie versus Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Like, I love that match. Hell, hey, how about that? So I would say that's a match I've watched many times. Let's see. So, well, that's just one. 4 more. Stuff.
It doesn't matter.
Chris Benoit, Shawn Michaels at him. That's the next WrestleMania 20. Him and Batista at 21. That's another good one. So there's 3.
What about you,
good
Platinum?
food for
Who'd you
thought.
say?
Good food for thought. Write it in the comments. No one. I mean everyone.
Man. Now, if I eliminate Triple H, I'm getting rid of NXT as well. Because that's all his work, too.
NXT, DX, it's all gone.
Him and Brian at 30.
Oh, see right there. I can't eliminate Triple H.
Him and
I just
Sting.
can't. I'll eliminate that.
You could delete that one.
I'll delete that one.
Like
that one I'm not saving for shit.
I liked it too much. I like the fun of it too much.
It's tough because, I mean, Brett and Sean will always be that rivalry I'll go back to and I'll love, and I can't get rid of Sean as much as I can't stand him for what he did, and I'm always going to be a Bret Hart fan. I got to have Sean, man. You got to have that yin to your yang. So Sean staying, Triple H is staying. And honestly, I might get rid of Taker. I know the latter of his career was the better part of his career, kind of like Sean was, but and it's tough because I love Taker, man. You lose so many moments with Cena. You lose him just the first match he had with Kurt Angle. I don't want to lose that because you're starting to see like a beginning of somebody. You see this match right here, which is one of my favorite matches he's ever had, especially with CM Punk. You lose,
The Rock.
AJ Styles versus Cena when he won 16. The Rock, which were pretty good. They weren't bad. They weren't great either, though. But you lose that. You lose Ricky Stenicki. I'm not losing that. I'm kidding.
I'm not losing the Undertaker because you're gonna lose Mankind. You're gonna lose Kane. You're gonna lose his appearance at WrestleMania 40.
I'm losing Taker. Just
Hey, they're all in that match.
Yeah. Only reason I'm eliminating Undertaker is just. What else? Like, they're not really doing anything else with the industry right now. I know he's got his dead man thing that he explains the industry nowadays, but Sean is doing his thing with NXT, those kids, and he's bringing them up right. Triple H is the one that started the whole thing, so it is what it is. And then, like I said, Cena's got so many moments that just eclipse almost anyone's career. It's hard to take. You can't eliminate anybody personally. You
can't.
But if I absolutely gun to my head, gotta be the dead man. But the ones I would probably save is versus Batista, Mania, Edge, Mania. It's basically all Mania matches, except for the Hell in a Cell match with Mankind at 98. I want to keep that one.
Him and Sean.
1 and 2. I'll keep that as a combo. And then... man. And then CM Punk.
Food for thought, you can't go wrong.
Like I said, you don't want to lose any one of them, but
No.
All right. Now let's play the same game with Kelly, Eve Torres, Brie Bella, and Nikki Bella. Just delete them all.
Yes.
Anyway.
damn it, Dom. Damn it. Jeez.
Well, that's the cue. Platano, wrap it up.
Boy, with that being said, the Money in the Bank is being cashed in. Dom's got the title. All of a sudden, I see BDC. He's about to cash in. He's failed at the cash in. Dom's going to New London speech because we're having a bash this week. See you next week on It Doesn't Matter podcast. I am Papi Platano. I am here with the Notorious one. And I also have Mr. Pochoda, John Lee, Strapfacts. Don't break your arm on that shoulder. We will see you next week, fellas. Ooh.